Today I'd like to talk a little bit about selling a luxury watch for the first time and how to maximize the amount you get out of it and basically not leave money on the table, especially when it's kind of a desirable piece like this example we're going to talk about. So let me read a little email here from Babar Ali, who's a viewer, and please forgive me if I've butchered your name. I'm pretty terrible with almost any pronunciation, so forgive me there. But Babar Ali says, Bruce, I like your guidance on watch selling and your perspective on watch dealers. I bought a Rolex Datejust 41 with the Wimbledon dial from an authorized dealer in Chicago, and I paid around $11,000 for this watch. It is beautiful and I love it. It is my first nice luxury watch. And I'm going to pause there for a minute and say that that's a lovely Datejust, and it is one of the more popular and better selling Datejusts on the market. And today, a Datejust 41, it's becoming hard to find. It's a few years ago, yeah, you could find them in the case at the authorized dealer. Maybe the blue dial they didn't always have in stock, but the Datejust wasn't a really hard to get model, and now it kind of has become one. And the Wimbledon, it's one of the more desirable ones. I love that deep dark sunray dial, the hint of the Rolex corporate green in the Romans, and how they take that white gold applied marker at the 9 o'clock and how visually that white space balances out the date wheel that's magnified by the Cyclops. I love the fluted bezel. I love the Jubilee bracelet. I love how wearable this watch is, how accurate it is, and how you can wear it in almost any situation. It really is a stunner. So congrats on a lovely purchase. I really think it's a good one. Now, going back to this email here, my AD said that they may be able to get me a two-tone Daytona very soon. So I thought about selling this Datejust. I tried online with Watchbox and they offered me $9,500. And no one on the market right now has listed this watch for less than $1,400. I felt like Watchbox is kind of lowballing me. I know that they will sell this watch at closer to the market value. My question is it normal for dealers to make this type of profit? Please guide me if and when the time comes. What are my best options for selling this piece? I look forward to hearing from you. Best regards, Babar Ali. Now, again, please forgive me if I butchered your name, but let me tell you what I would do here in your situation. I would try to keep that Wimbledon and then buy that two-tone Daytona if it's offered to you. That would be a lovely duo of Rolex. I will say it is never a good idea to sell a desirable stainless steel model like this Wimbledon. Eventually, I think you will regret it. So I think it's forgivable if you replace it with a different Rolex. So what I'm saying here is if you can swing both, I would try to build your Rolex collection with these two models, and I'd try not to let go of that Wimbledon. Again, if you can financially do it responsibly. Now, if you just want to get rid of it, I will say your best option is not actually going through a dealer or through a reseller, but it's selling it yourself and doing it locally, getting a bank transfer from a buyer there in Chicago. And because this is your first luxury watch, it's probably safe to say that you haven't sold a luxury watch before. So you don't have a lot of feedback and you don't inspire a lot of confidence in a buyer as a seller, if that makes sense. And so it's not likely that you could ask for 14 and get 14. I mean, it could happen, but realistically, you're likely finding an end buyer who can't get that Wimbledon from their authorized dealer, and you're meeting at a bank or you're meeting at a police station, you're doing that wire transfer, or I guess if you're doing cash, that's another thing. You're going to need to fill out a form basically declaring that you're not laundering money. But basically, you find the end buyer yourself. You could probably get close to $13,000, and if you spent 11 on that with tax, you're going to make $2,000, and you're going to be able to put that money down on that two-tone Daytona. Now, selling a luxury watch, especially for the first time to a stranger, it can be kind of a daunting thing. And so when you assume that risk, when you take that responsibility, you get rewarded by, keeping more of the going rate for that watch, for the market value of that lovely Rolex. Now, if you don't want to, sell it yourself and you want to go with a dealer, Well, that's the cost of doing business because they assume the responsibility. They pay for the shipping, they pay for the insurance. They've got to go find a buyer, and their business. They need to make money. They got to pay sales commission, they've got to pay overhead. And some of their other brands, they don't have the best margins on some of those watches. And so when they have the opportunity to buy and resell a desirable watch like this Wimbledon, they need to take advantage of it, and they need to make as much as possible, which means buying it for as little as possible and selling it for as much as they can. That's just going to help them stay in business and be profitable. So I'm not surprised at the quote. And if you think about it, they're basically offering they're offering full retail for your watch. That's what I'm trying to say, because I think the retail price is like 96 or 97. I can't quite remember. But again, with tax, you're already into it 11 grand. And I will say the longer you wait to sell, the more that watch will hold steady and eventually start to creep up in value. If the market continues in its trend, of crazy demand for certain pieces and not enough supply to meet the demand. So eventually, if you hold on to that for like 4 or 5 years, even trading it in with a dealer, you're going to make a respectable amount. Then again, if you're trying to put that into a brand new Rolex model, the price is going to be higher as well. So everything is going up, if that makes sense. But what I'm trying to say is essentially, if you hold on to a Rolex, eventually you're going to break even, and then you're going to make some money. And that's just Rolex. That's how it goes with this brand. Now, if you do go with the dealer route, I would encourage you to shop around, not just with Watchbox. Go with all the major players, see what is going to be offered to you. Reach out to Federico of Del Rey Watch, reach out to David SW, and see what types of quotes you're going to get. I would imagine some of them are going to be a little bit lower, some of them may be a little bit higher, but essentially retail price for that pre-owned Wimbledon is likely going to be as good as you will get with a dealer. Again, it's all about the ease of doing business. You're not assuming any responsibility yourself. You're just getting paid for that lovely watch. And so that's the information I have for you, Babar Ali. Again, forgive me if I butchered your name. Try to keep both. If you can't keep both, try to sell it yourself if you're comfortable doing so. If you're not comfortable doing so, go with the dealer, shop around, find the best price for you that you're most comfortable with, and go get that two-tone Daytona. I hope it's offered for you very soon, because that is a lovely watch. So thanks for watching today, guys. In the comment section, please suggest what you would do if you were in Babar Ali's situation. Would you keep the Wimbledon? Would you try to get both the Wimbledon and that Daytona? Would you sell one? Would you sell out of Rolex and go buy a Grand Seiko or go buy an Omega? Let us know what you would do in the comments. Thanks for watching today. Have a great day. I'll see you in the next video.